One of the things that I've always really appreciated about Jesus, and in particular how he teaches us to pray, is just how optimistic he seems to be about the world. Christianity can sometimes feel very negative, like the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and our job is just to hang on in a little conclave away from the world until one day it's all destroyed and we're taken off into heaven. But Jesus seems to have a very different view of the world. A very optimistic view of the world, one where we are engaged in the repair of the world, and that repair is ultimately inevitable. Like a mustard seed, it has already been planted, it is already growing, and one day it will change everything. That's something that I want to pray more about, or pray more in line with when I engage with my prayers.
Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. See, I think fundamentally this prayer is an optimistic view of the world. If you think back to last week, all those unhealthy prayers that Jesus critiques, right? The hypocrites who use prayer as a means to an end, the publicists who use prayer as image management, the pagan who uses prayer to manipulate the divine. All of those are pretty cynical, right? How can I use prayer? How can I position myself? How can I shape this situation to advantage my standing in a world that must be indifferent to me? By contrast, Jesus' prayer, right from this first word hour, takes a very different posture toward the world. The world is not indifferent. The cosmos is infused with parental love for all of us. And the Lord's Prayer at its heart is about believing that because of that, well, then we are in this together. The earth is salvageable. Our relationships are redeemable. We have a part to play in God's inevitable story of repair of all things. In fact, I find it helpful here to translate this line as literally as possible. It's going to sound a little stiff if I do it this way, but I think it's helpful. Here's what it says, perhaps at its most raw. Come, kingdom of you, be born desire of you, as in heaven now also on earth. It's a bit of a subtle change, but for me, it's helpful because sometimes it's easy for me to pray, your kingdom come, your will be done, and imagine this as some kind of cosmic conquest. As if God is going to give us kingdom whether we want it or not. God will pummel us into paradise. But to pray instead, come your kingdom, be born your desires, as in heaven, also here in me. That changes something about how I experience prayer. This Greek word ginomai, it's not just that God's will is being done, it's that God's will is being born. Divine desire is being created, formed within the world, maybe eventually even within me. And that carries a very different connotation. No longer am I praying, asking God to do anything. Now I'm really invested in this shared nature of God. I'm really asking myself to align with what God is already doing all around me all the time. I think this is really one of the great paradoxes of prayer. I mean, who exactly are we talking to right now? I know I said last week, prayer is not for God, it's for me. That's undoubtedly true. Sometimes I actually think prayer is to me. Not that I pray to myself, even for someone with my ego, that's a bit too much. But I do recognize that prayer is sometimes, maybe often actually, about speaking to myself. God is my audience. God is the one I stand before when I pray. But when I do, often my words, they are intended for my own heart to listen to. God, help me to know that you are ours, not mine. God, help me to experience family as it was intended, maybe as I never have before, now in you. God, help me to trust in your vision for this world and to slowly invite your desires to become not just what I work toward, but what I actually want and I long for in the world. Often, I think prayer is sacred self-talk. And I know that when I say that, some of you, it might feel like I'm diminishing prayer. Trust me here, I'm not. Reminding ourselves about what we want to believe, what we want to trust about ourselves and our world and our God, I think this is probably some of the most important words that we can ever speak in our lives. As human beings, we are constantly creating narratives in our mind. And we construct our reality as we tell a story about our world to ourselves every day. The closer that story aligns with the reality of God's love that sits at the founding of the cosmos, the more true our perception of the world around us will become. And prayer has been, for thousands of years now, where we are invited to describe the best version of ourselves and our world in front of the one who fashioned our very selves and our world. If there is anyone in your life that is ever going to believe the best about you, if there is anyone in your life who is ever going to help you believe the best about you, it has got to be the one who put everything good in you to begin with, right? Prayer is where we slowly come to believe we are the person God believes we are. And that means that we can start to see the world as it really is as well. A world that is good and needs to be celebrated, a world that is broken and needs to be repaired. A world where we can, all of us, play our part as our neighbor's keepers and close the gap between what is in heaven and what could be right here on earth within us.